Coming to you from North Park, Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. This is the UTRGV Coaches Show. Woo! Coach, nice. Wait a minute, you're not Coach Lord.
No, we got him sitting right here though.
I trust her enough to drive my car.
Taylor Muff driving the car today. Well, what do you think of this Lexus?
It's pretty nice. This red leather interior is looking pretty good.
Want to go do a show?
Sounds great, let's do it.
It's the UTRGV Coaches Show at North Park, Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. I'm Jonah Goldberg, and we're joined this week by UTRGV women's basketball head coach Lane Lord. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, glad to be here in this beautiful resort that they call a car lot, and it's fun to be here at North Park, Lexus.
No sooner did Coach Lord walk in the door did we hear that there were fresh baked cookies available at the free Starbucks that we have over here. So we're going to go run over there in a few minutes. I know I'm excited for fresh cookies. You?
I'm excited. Let's get this show going so we can go get some cookies.
I think you've only played one game since the last time we saw you. Had a nice winter break and then opened up Western Athletic Conference play against Stephen F. Austin, who hasn't lost the conference game in a couple years. And they picked up a 65-50 victory over your squad. What can you tell us about that game?
Well, we did some really good things in that game, especially defensively. And we've been playing very good defense really all year long. In this game, I thought we played very well defensively. We were without our leading scorer, Sarah Bashir. She averages 16 a game, and we lost by 15. So, that might have helped us a little bit. But all in all, I think we competed very well with one of the top teams in mid-major.
You know, you look at the last three quarters of the game, and the score was basically even for those last three quarters. So, what changed from the first quarter to the last three?
Well, we got off to a really good start. We were up 5-0, and then next thing you know, they go on a 19-0 run to really take control of that first quarter. But after that, we settled in. The turnovers were evident in that first quarter. They were able to get some transition buckets and really had the momentum. But we played really well after that, and we were able to settle in. Like you said, we won the second half. And it's kind of been our story this year with a young team. We've got Taylor Muff, who's old, but other than that, we've got a lot of players that this is their first year to really play Division I basketball. They've maybe been role players before, now they're asked to do more. And then we've got some freshmen that are playing. Maria Irente getting back from injury. It's been a learning experience for all of them and for all of us. But throughout the season, we've had against some of the best teams in the country, including South Florida and Liberty. We've had really good stretches of good basketball, but we haven't put it all together yet, to be consistent with our wins, but we're getting closer.
You mentioned Maria Irente. She had missed, I think, 5 games?
3 games.
She had been hurt back in early December. After a few minutes, she really seemed to get right back to where she left off.
Yeah, she struggled with turnovers in her first game back, but we had that 3-game winning streak at home right before the break, and she was playing really well. And then she had that high ankle sprain, and she's a very dynamic player. She does a good job finding her teammates. She's a good point guard, combo guard, and to get her back was really nice. I mean, it was great to have her back, another ball handler, and I think you'll continue to see her get better and better as the year goes on, as long as she's healthy.
We've certainly got some strong ball handlers out there, and one of them, another young one, Casey Kyle, who she's really come on, especially with her shot over the last few games.
She has, and I think Casey's one, along with Taylor Muff. Taylor's our best competitor, and You know, she's a leader for us. She leads by example. She wins every sprint. She stays late, comes early. And Casey Kyle's that kind of kid as well. She's a competitor. I think Taylor's been a great leader for her. When Taylor leaves after this year, we'll be able to, I think Casey will be the leader of this team because of her competitive spirit. And she loves the game, and she plays hard all the time. And those are the kind of kids you want in your program, and certainly for 4 years, and we're excited for Casey.
When you're grooming leadership, do you need to have that conversation with Taylor Muff and say, hey, I need you to groom Casey Kyle, or does it just happen?
No, we've had that conversation many times. Taylor was brought here for one reason, well, more than one reason, but the biggest reason that she's here is to help put this program on the map and help these younger players. We have such a young team as far as experience, and we needed her to come in here. I know what Taylor Muff is all about, and that's why she's so important to our program, and her effect on the program will last for a long time, and one of those examples will be Casey Kyle.
Coach, you got to play one conference game this past weekend, 2 more coming up this weekend, and now on the road. You head to Grand Canyon and New Mexico State. Well, what can you tell us about some of these opponents?
We got to see Grand Canyon at South Padre Island. They were in our classic, so very athletic team, just like last year. One of our former players is there, Namara Graham. She's leading them in scoring, so we know we're going to get pressed for 40 minutes. And one thing we've really struggled with is turnovers, so we've got to do a great job taking care of the basketball and really attack their press and try to score early and often on that press, and it should be a great game. New Mexico State, they've been paused for a week, so we'll hopefully they'll be able to play on Saturday, and we'll be able to a similar matchup with Grand Canyon, very athletic team.
Grand Canyon, like you mentioned, you got to see them play at the South Padre Island Classic. How much did that help to give you that opportunity to scout them in person?
Yeah, it's really a great opportunity. Everybody has synergy, or everybody has the scouting capabilities. We've seen every game they've played, but to watch them in person and kind of sneak some of their calls that they call for plays, and so we were able to see them up close and personal, and so it was fun to watch them play.
One thing I noticed on Padre is it seemed like with Grand Canyon, if they forced a lot of turnovers but committed a lot of turnovers, then they were in trouble. And I look back at the Stephen F. Austin game. They forced a lot of turnovers, but they committed a lot of turnovers, but they still shot well. And when I look at Grand Canyon, I see a team that needs to take more possessions, take more shots than the other team. So is there going to be a bit of a focus of trying to turn them over and make sure the possessions at least stay the same? Yeah,
no doubt. And with the turnovers that we've been committing, a lot of our turnovers are unforced turnovers. Again, playing with a young team, but hopefully now playing 12 games that we'll continue to improve in that. But yeah, the Grand Canyon feeds off of live ball turnovers. And the difference is if we're going to turn it over, it needs to be a dead ball turnover so they can't go get a layup on the other end. So, in practice this week, we're working on being strong with the basketball. Once you pick that ball up, you get 5 seconds to make a decision. Sometimes we get too much in a hurry, so we've really been working on that. We'll continue to work on that today and tomorrow and get ready for Grand Canyon. But it's all about live ball turnovers with Grand Canyon. We can't allow that to happen.
Well, we mentioned how you saw them on South Padre Island. I know you got to stay a few extra days on South Padre Island after the tournament ended. How was that?
Well, South Padre Island is basically our second home. We spend a lot of time there. We love it there. The tournament was over and we stayed 4 more days and kind of had Christmas there with the family. So great time as always, and we'll continue to I guess you call it have our second home in Padre.
So does it count as a white Christmas if you're surrounded by white sand instead of white snow?
Yeah, it was. I believe it was 80 degrees that weekend, so it was a good time.
What else did you do over the winter break?
Our daughter was back home, so we got to see her, and then she left and went to a friend's place, but just got to spend a little time with our family, just us 3, My parents are in Florida right now this time of the year, so we didn't get to see them. And Stacy's parents are back in Kansas. She'll get to see them here next week. So it was just us three. It was fun.
Are you able to disconnect when you have that kind of time, or are you already starting to think about your next game?
We're always thinking about basketball, but you know, anytime you pull over that bridge, you just kind of get that feeling of relief, and it's just a relaxing place over there at South Padre. So we were able to disconnect a little bit, and then obviously after Christmas was over, we're back at it.
So you weren't like in the sand with a stick drawing X's and O's?
No, we were able to relax a little bit and have some fun, so that was nice.
Good. I'm very happy to hear that. You certainly deserve a break. It can be a grind of a season, as I've noticed over the years.
It's definitely a grind, but wouldn't want to do anything else. It's the greatest job in the world, and we love our kids, and we love UTRGV, and our job is to continue to gain respectability for UTRGV, and you know, we can't be more happier with our university, the growth of the university, the leadership we have with Dr. Bailey and Chase Conk. It's just an unbelievable place to work, and I'm excited about the next several years to watch this place grow, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. Practicing
over winter break when there are no classes in session is probably a little different. What do you do differently?
Yeah, we tried to break it up, do kind of a 2-a-day type situation. So we'd come in the morning, we get shots up, and we'd go for about an hour, and then lift weights after that, and then we'd come back in the afternoon and kind of have a traditional practice, but just get them up, get them out of bed, and we tell them it's like being in the NBA. It's just all basketball right now, and to really take advantage of it. And you know, our players are doing a great job. They've had great energy coming back from the break, and they're excited to get the conference season going, which we did last Thursday, but to continue to improve as a team. And like I said, their energy, their effort, we've got great kids in the program, and we're excited to see what we can do and continue to improve. You know, we want to, you know, if we lose a few here and there, win a few, but the most important thing is with this young team is that we continue to grow, we continue to stay together, and play our best at the end and give ourselves a chance in the tournament.
UTRGV women's basketball on the road at Grand Canyon at New Mexico State. As WAC play continues, follow all the action at goutrgv.com. UTRGV women's basketball head coach Lane Lord, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jonah.
We'll be back with Taylor Muff, a graduate student on the UTRGV women's basketball team, in just a moment. This is the UTRGV Coaches Show at North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley.
In the minute it takes to knock back your drink, spot your new crush, or cheer on the home team, you could do something that really makes a difference. Sign up as an organ donor. In less than a typical timeout, you could sign up to save 8 lives. It sure beats using a minute to mustard that hot dog. Sign up at tosa1.org.
The Rio Grande Valley is growing every day. That's why you need a team you can trust. 2 stations, 2 languages.
Se le pide a cualquier persona con información.
The most experienced news anchors in the valley.
And Andina Herrera Garza.
The largest weather team keeping you informed in English.
The track front updates forecast.
Y en español.
Te le voy a estar explicando un poco más de eso.
A sports team covering the RGV like no one else.
What this win means.
We're live in the morning, at noon, and in the evenings. Anytime you need us, we're online and on social media too. We do this all in both languages.
We are tracking breaking news.
Nosotros estamos aquí para platicarles cómo.
Who else can deliver this type of coverage?
Tonight at 10 in the meantime, have a great evening.
No one. Channel 5 News
and Azteca Valle.
Working together for you.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Now hiring awesome crew. Apply at work@canes.com.
Fans, welcome back to WAC Vegas. As we celebrate more than a decade of madness at the Orleans Arena, the 2022 Hercules Tires WAC Basketball Tournament, March 9th through the 12th. In this year, there are even more games to watch, with 20 teams in Las Vegas. For ticket information, go to wacsports.com.
TownePlace Suites by Marriott, Edinburgh's newest destination spot and a host hotel of UTRGV Athletics, with the amenities that a frequent long-stay traveler or visiting team in town to take on the V-Nation looks for. The nightlife is amplified with Ignite Lounge, a great way to wrap up a long workday or celebrate a big win. TownePlace Suites by Marriott on Trenton in between Business 281 and Sugar Road and minutes away from the excitement of UTRGV. TownePlace Suites by Marriott, Edinburgh.
Welcome back to the UTRGV Coaches Show at North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley off the Expressway in San Juan. I'm Jonah Goldberg, and this is Coach. You're not a coach.
No.
Taylor Muff. She's a graduate student on the UTRGV women's basketball team. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, great to be here.
So Taylor, graduate student, what are you studying?
I'm getting my master's in kinesiology right now with an emphasis in sport management.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
How long does something like that take?
Just a year. They have an online one-year accelerated program, which I'm getting to do.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, it's nice. It goes fast, but gets done.
That's good. And so far?
Great, yeah.
Good.
Can't complain.
Well, that's what I like to hear. Now, this is your graduate student, but it's actually your first year at UTRGV, a transfer from the University of Northern Colorado, you know, the other UNC.
Yes, the other UNC.
So what has the transition been like for you?
It's been great. I mean, the weather has definitely been a big change, except for today. It's kind of chilly out today. But yeah, it's been awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better program to walk into and more welcoming arms.
Now, when you were at Northern Colorado, this may surprise people who have been following your season this year and see that you're one of the top scorers and rebounders on the team, but you actually played volleyball?
Yes, 4 years.
And you were really good at it, from what I understand.
I was all right.
Over 1,000 kills in your career?
Yes.
That's all right? That's the standard?
Yes, it's the standard.
So what was it like going from volleyball to basketball?
It was a transition for sure, but basketball's kind of like riding a bike. I think any sport's kind of like riding a bike. You don't really forget how to do it.
The first days that you were here for practice, was it really just, yeah, I'm going to come in and be one of the best players on the team?
Absolutely not. No, there's a lot of nerves. My head was going 100 miles an hour. I felt like I was really behind, but again, like I said, more welcoming arms I could not have walked into. My teammates helped me every step of the way.
Were there ever any urges when somebody was trying to put up a shot of jumping up and going wham to the basketball?
No, there hasn't been, but definitely on that two-handed one, I definitely wanted to push over sometimes.
Well, that's a foul.
Yeah, I know.
You got hands straight up.
I know. Learned that though.
So this season, you started off really strong against one of the top teams in the country in South Florida. In your most recent game, you had a double-double as well. Tell us about just what it's been like taking on this Division I competition for you.
It's been really cool. I think opening up against South Florida was definitely an advantage to me because that was like biggest game, biggest nerves, got that out of the way, and now it's just about consistency, finding my shot every game, finding those rebounds every game, and having those goals set.
With another year of eligibility, you had a lot of choices. You could have played volleyball somewhere or make the transition like you did. So what helped you to make that decision to leave volleyball after a very successful 4-year career to go to basketball?
After kind of reflecting on my 4 years of volleyball, I felt like that I had done what I had needed to do and I had accomplished what I wanted to out of my 4-year career. And Coach Lord obviously was a big factor in me coming down here. I had a great relationship with him, and so when he presented this opportunity, it was just something I really couldn't pass up.
Yeah, you're originally from Pittsburgh, Kansas. He had been coaching at Pittsburgh State before coming to UTRGV. So how long have you two known each other?
Let's see, I moved to Pittsburgh when I was 10, 11, so coming on 12 years now.
Now, I understand you're family friends too.
Yeah, of course. So his daughter and I went to high school together, and we've been best friends ever since.
That's an incredible connection that
sure.
you two have. So coming down here must have been amazing even though you're not home, Does it kind of feel like home?
It does. There's definitely a piece of home that I can feel down here.
Now, when you were at Pittsburgh, you went to Pittsburgh High School, you were pretty much the greatest basketball, volleyball, and track and field athlete in the history of the planet while you were there. I mean, you probably could have played collegiately in any of those sports, or competed if it was track and field. So how did you choose volleyball initially?
So volleyball has an early recruiting process. Both my older sisters had also played college volleyball, so that was definitely a big factor. I've always had I look up to my sisters so much, and watching their success in their careers and kind of the culture that they had gotten to be a part of was very appealing to me. So that was a big factor in it. And I was also playing club volleyball at the time, and the team that I was on I loved and was super competitive. And so I really fell in love with volleyball around that time that all that recruitment was happening, and it just so happened that I got connected with Lindsay Oates at UNC, and everything turned out great.
Now, if I remember correctly, one of your sisters actually did the volleyball to basketball transition as well.
Yeah, with Coach Lord too.
Golly. So what did she tell you about doing that?
She said that it was just, like I said, an opportunity you can't pass up. I mean, the lessons you learn, the difference in just culture that you put yourself in, everything that comes together really just helps you learn a lot about yourself and just about who you are.
So, when broadcasters like myself talk about you on the air, the obvious and easy thing is, oh yeah, she played volleyball at Northern Colorado, and now here she is at UTRGV playing basketball, and that's a great storyline. Mm-hmm. Tell me what we don't know about Taylor Muff.
There's a lot to know, I guess, about Taylor Muff. I love cooking, I love reading. Family has always been such a huge part of my life. Outdoors, that's kind of, Colorado is a big pick because of the outdoors aspect. I love to hike, I love to be outside.
Now, you're outdoorsy, the Rio Grande Valley, also an outdoors kind of place. A lot of birding centers, for example, a lot of good places to go hiking. Have you had an opportunity to explore yet?
Yeah, for sure. Padre has two great places, the turtle rescue place and also the bird sanctuary. So getting to experience those was awesome. And then South Padre in general is just a beautiful place to go.
Did you know that the Rio Grande Valley is the only place in the United States that has all 7 species of falcon?
I didn't know that. Falcon, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, now you have something to go birding for.
Now I have something to research.
Well, I think you're going to thank me for that. But you may want to wait till basketball season's over. But if you have time, in between classes and being an athlete, how do you juggle that?
It's all about time management and, like I said, consistency. You got to plan out before you do it. I think everybody's heard the quote, if you don't plan to succeed, you'll succeed to fail, something like that.
Well, I'm glad that you've been able to juggle all of that. I think that so far it's working out. So far you're having a pretty good season. Now, the most recent game came off of a bit of a layoff after the tournament on South Padre Island. You had a little bit of a winter break. What'd you do?
I actually got to go home to Kansas. My parents actually met me in South Padre after our tournament. Got to spend a few days down there, and then went home to Kansas and got to be with both my sisters and their husbands and all my nieces and nephews.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What kind of family traditions did you get to do while you were home?
The one that has really stayed in our family is the granddad, which is now my dad, used to be my granddad, reading "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" to all the kids on New Year's Eve. So that was really special.
And you still count as one of the kids?
Yes, but no.
Well, Taylor, you've been here for, 8 months, give or take? 6 months?
Since last June.
Since June. That's a number of months, depending on when people are watching this. Because it does live online, so technically they could be watching it at any time, so we'll keep it a little evergreen. What's your favorite part about the Rio Grande Valley?
Favorite part about the Rio Grande Valley? I like how much stuff there is to do here. I mean, there's a lot going on in a small amount of space, which I like. I think it's a lot of fun. You can find a lot of things to do.
Well, glad you're enjoying it here. Taylor Muff, graduate student forward on the UTRGV women's basketball team. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
We'll be back in a moment to wrap things up from North Park Lexus Rio Grande Valley. This is the UTRGV Coaches Show.
We all want the best for our families, to love, to laugh, to live a healthy life. At UT Health RGV, we believe every family should have access to the most advanced medical care right here, close to home. With over 100 board-certified doctors at 20 locations valley-wide, with life-saving procedures and treatments that keep you and your family healthy, UT Health RGV is here for you. high-quality care for every patient, for every family. Find your way to the best care at uthealthrgv.org.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
I got mine because I'm a former student athlete.
I've got mine because the UTRGV Vaqueros are a hometown team.
I've got mine. Visa.
I've got mine because I'm a proud alumni.
I've got mine. I've got mine. I've got mine.
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
I've got mine. Go Vaqueros.
Get yours. UTRGV basketball season tickets are on sale now. Visit goutrgv.com/tickets.
There's a magic to the Rio Grande Valley and to this university. We are champions in the arena, in the halls, and in our communities. The Valley's pride. The Valley's future. The Valley's University.
Support. Some call it the foundation of success. Joining the V Club assists in the success of our student athletes. Preparing our student athletes for excellence in life.
Thank you for watching this edition of the UTRGV Coaches Show. We'll be back with you next week and every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m., along with a special re-air Sundays at 1:30 on Somos El Valle, Channel 5.3, Cable 1241. Missed an episode? Want to watch this one again? Check out our archived episodes on our YouTube channel at goutrgv.com/Coaches Show. Big thanks to UTRGV Women's Basketball Head Coach Lane Lord and UTRGV Women's Basketball player Taylor Muff for joining us this week. Next week, Coach Lord returns, along with UTRGV Women's Basketball student athlete Sarah Bershears. But for now, this is Jonah Goldberg saying so long from North Park, Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. This has been the UTRGV Coaches Show. Get your V's up.